Alright guys, we are back again with another equipment guide. This one is for the Super Saiyan 3 Daima Mini Goku. We are slowly getting caught back up with the equipment guides. Of course, up next will be the Legend Bardock that we got recently. So yeah, this guy dropped, and... oh, what happened here? There we go. Okay. The weirdest thing with this guy, you would expect someone on Sun Family and Saiyans to have a lot of really good equipment, and that's just really not the case here. A lot of that has to do with the fact that most of his best equipment are extremely team restricted to Daima. So the thing that happens with this guy is if you're not running him on a Daima setup, you are pretty significantly limiting your equipment options, and it's very noticeable. But yeah, we can go ahead and jump right in. Of course, you guys know the drill. We will be doing priority order, with the first equipment being the must runs, as then followed by the team specific and the character specific. And then we'll go into some of his defensive options. Now, I think the proper way to build this guy is pretty offensively. I think it's safe to say this guy doesn't have exactly the greatest defensive capabilities, so just go all in on him, right? And he already has a lot of his defenses covered by a lot of these self-sustaining units like Revival Gohan, Ultranamic Goku. And if we're talking about the Daima setup specifically, he has like Tamagami 3, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, if you're not running him on a super competitive scale. So yeah, build him super offensively, and let's go ahead and jump right in. The first equip is going to be this one. Now, there are two different versions of this one. The Awakened equipment we'll go over in a second. This one will be his standard equipment for when you are not running him on a pure Daima setup. It's giving blue card damage, it's HP, strike defense, and then pure strike attack if this character is Daima. This is the equipment that came out with the blue Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku about a year ago now, I think. Or was it 2 years? No, a year ago. Yeah, a year. So yeah, this is pretty good for him. This is probably his only PvP equipment that actually works unrestricted. And yeah, up next is going to be the Awakened version of this. This is for Daima and Goku specifically. 15% blue card damage, 10% HP, 20% strike defense, and then 15% to pure offenses when 3 battle members are tagged Daima. As you can see, this is one hell of a restriction, because most of the time, you're probably going to want to run him next to everyone's favorite partner, Revival Gohan and Ultranamic Goku, but you can't run it. And it's sad because the difference between these two is pretty significant. You have 3% more blue card damage. You have... well, I guess it isn't, insane, but having pure offenses for both instead of just one can make a difference. And the fact that this is restricted to a full Daima setup is kind of eh. But yeah, let's just move on. This is the unique equipment that came out with the Red Daima Goku in 2024 Legends Festival Part 2. This is giving 20% to base blast defense, 15% to blue card damage and health restoration, as well as 35% to base strike attack. And this is probably his best base stat equipment, or one of his best. Pretty straightforward, nothing much to say here. Up next is going to be this one. This is for Daima. This gives 10% HP, 13% to pure defenses if 2 or more battle members are both Daima and a weapon wielder, and then 15% to base strike and 6% to pure strike per weapon wielder battle member. So yet another team restricted, very heavily restricted equipment. You need both a weapon wielder and Daima weapon wielder. So the only characters that fit this, if we just take a look at the Daima tag, would be the Tamagamis, all 3 of them. This Mini Goku, or I guess all of these mini Gokus with the power pole, and then Glorio. Glorio was good in that one Daima season because he was on the Z tier boost, but now I wouldn't say so. So realistically, the only good weapon loaders right now, I would say, are the Tamagamis and the red Zenkai. He can perform. He can perform, especially in a very yellow dominant meta. I think he can work well. But yeah, so that's the issue there. You need both of this, and then you realistically, the only amount of pure strike attack that you can get from this equipment for this Goku is 12%. If you're running both the Tamagamis, or this guy. So, yeah, yet another team restricted equipment. Let's move on. This is co-op, so this might take some effort to grind up. Up next is another co-op equipment for Daima. This released... Did this release with this guy? It might have. This is giving 20% to base strike attack, 15% to special move damage, 15% to pure strike or pure blast attack when 3 battle members are Daima, and then 15% to pure strike attack if a Saiyan other than the character's battle member. Another team restricted, but this one isn't as bad because you don't really need to prioritize the blast attack as long as you get the 15% to pure strike attack, which can combine well with the base strike here. So if you're running this guy next to someone like Legend Super Vegito or Legend Bardock or Ultra Dynamic Goku, as long as you're getting this slot, I think this is good enough to run because this guy doesn't really have that many good options at all. This is another co-op equipment, so yet more effort. Good luck on that. Wait for Bonanza. Up next, I usually don't include the Legend ranking equipment, but the fact that he doesn't really have that many good options, I think it's probably safe to do so. You guys know the drill with this one. It's giving 45% base strike attack and 30% to strike defense. Very straightforward equipment, just very stat inflated for these two stats. But other than that, I'm only including this because, again, a lot of his equipment just don't work well with the teams that he could work the best on. Up next is this Daima equipment. I believe this is in the Ultra Equipment or the Ultimate Equipment Collection Shop or whatever it's called, or the event. Giving 10% base HP and then 30% to base offenses. Very straightforward, but double offenses and HP is going to be good. Now, I believe this came out during the first Daima campaign or whenever the Super Saiyan 3 and 4 came out, or maybe even before then. I cannot recall. But this is a decent equipment. The HP is always nice, and then strike attack. Up next is going to be a bit of an oddball pick. This one. This is for Saiyans. This is giving 12% to blue card damage, 20% base defenses, 12% to pure strike attack if character Goku is a battle member, and then 12% to pure blast attack when Team Bardock is a battle member. Now, even if you don't run Legend Bardock, I think this is still decent enough to run. You're still getting double defenses and then the pure strike as well as blue card damage. But, you know, if you're running this guy next to Legend Bardock, you can, that's just an added bonus. This isn't really necessary. And up next, another character specific. This is for Saiyans, 20% to base key recovery, and then 12% to pure defenses when tagged Team Bardock is a battle member, and 12% to pure offenses when Team Bardock is a battle member. Of course, you're running this guy specifically next to Bardock, either Legend Bardock or the Red Bardock that is getting a Zenkai soon, at the time of recording at least. This could be actually a pretty good equipment. Of course, key recovery is kind of just whatever, but 12% to pure defenses and pure offenses, that's pretty solid. It's definitely up there with all of his other available equipment, just because he doesn't have that many great options. So, run this guy next to Bardock, he should be good to go. Up next, this is a co-op equipment. For Sun Family, this is giving either 15% to base one of the two defenses, and then an additional 20% strike and blast defense, as well as 12% to pure offenses when 3 battle members are Sun Family. Sun Family, you run this guy next to Revival Gohan and Ultra Dynamic Goku. You can run this guy against the other Super Saiyan 4 Gokus. You run this guy next to Gogeta or something like that. That's a pretty solid pure stats equipment. Now, let's just go ahead and move on to the defensive equipment. This is the PvP equipment that came out with them. Of course, like every PvP equipment, it takes a while to return after its initial drop, maybe 2 or 3 seasons. So if you guys didn't spawn this, then you're gonna have to wait a bit. But this is for Daima, 12% to blue card damage, 12% HP, 20% base strike defense, and 20% to pure strike defense if this character is Super Saiyan 3 or weapon wielder. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there really isn't a need to build this guy defensively, but, you know, because of his lack of options, you might not really have a choice here. But yeah, this is a solid defensive option, and his next and final defensive option is going to be this one. This is for Saiyans. This is 10% HP and HP restoration, 32% strike defense, and then 20% to pure blast defense when Saiyan and Potara is a battle member. Now, obviously, you're going to be running this guy, you're going to be running this equipment if you're running him next to Legend Super Vegito, and maybe like a purple-red setup with Buhan or something like that. The only problem with that, running 2 purples right now when one of, if not the best sniping yellow character we have seen in a minute, where is he? Where is he? It should be higher. Here. He got his unique equipment, and he is certainly a purple killer. You just swap into this guy, click 3 cards, chain them, and your endurance is gone. If not, you're just completely fried. So yeah, running double purple right now isn't exactly a great option, but if you want to risk it, then go right ahead. But yeah, that pretty much concludes this unit's equipment guide. Again, this guide does not have the greatest options. I have reiterated that multiple times at this point. Just to recap, this is going to be what you're going to be using on just whatever all-purpose, pretty much his one must-run. This is his must-run, same iteration of this one except awakened. If you're on a full Daima setup, you'll be running this one as your best, one of your best base stat equipment. This is if you're running him next to 2 other Tamagami members. This is pretty solid, just all around. One of his better pure equipment options. This is just whatever. It's decent. These 2 are running if you're running him next to Legend Bardock or the Red Bardock that will Zenkai soon. On a full Sun Fam setup, and his 2 defensive options. This one probably being his best one because it's not restricted at all. But yeah, it just feels weird. A Goku character doesn't have that many defense or that many good equipment options. It's just a little strange. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this character. We will be going over who's up next. It is the Legend Bardock, right? We will be going over the Legend Bardock soon, and I'll see you guys then. See ya.